You open your banking app right now and check your balance. It takes maybe 3 seconds to load. In those same 3 seconds, a video game studio in Scotland just made more money than you'll earn this entire year. That's not an exaggeration. That's Rockstar Games. And the number attached to their biggest launch is so large it stopped sounding like a video game industry statistic and started sounding like a national economy. In its first 24 hours on shelves, Grand Theft Auto V made $815 million. Not units sold, dollars. Within 3 days, that number crossed 1 billion. To put that into perspective, no film, no album, no television show in human history had ever crossed $1 billion that fast. Not Avengers, not Star Wars. A video game did it first, and it wasn't close. So today you're going to learn exactly how a video game studio broke every record in entertainment history, why the machine behind it never actually stopped running, and why the sequel arriving this November might be positioned to break its own record all over again. Let's start with the number everyone already knows, and go one layer deeper than most people ever bothered to look. Grand Theft Auto V launched in September 2013. Within 24 hours, retailers had moved over 11 million copies worldwide. Guinness World Records eventually confirmed it as the fastest entertainment property to gross $1 billion in history, a title it earned in 72 hours flat. For comparison, it took the film Avatar 17 days to reach the same milestone, and Avatar was, at the time, the highest-grossing movie ever made. Here's a detail that gets lost in the headline number. Development on GTA 5 reportedly cost around $265 million, one of the most expensive entertainment productions ever assembled at that point. Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two Interactive, effectively bet $250 million on a single title. Within 3 days, that bet had already returned itself nearly 4 times over. Within a year, GTA 5 had generated more revenue than any film or album ever released, a fact economists and gaming industry analysts have cited repeatedly when explaining why video games quietly became the largest entertainment sector on the planet, larger than film and music combined. But the part that actually explains why this business model is so extraordinary isn't the launch. It's what happened after the launch. Most entertainment products follow a predictable curve. A movie makes most of its money in the opening weekend, then the revenue drops sharply. An album sells hardest in its first month, then trails off. Rockstar looked at that curve and asked a different question entirely. What if the product never stopped selling? That question became GTA Online, a persistent multiplayer mode built inside the same game, where players spend real money on virtual currency to buy cars, apartments, weapons, and businesses inside the game world. It's a system economists call a live service model, and it fundamentally broke the traditional entertainment revenue curve. Analysts covering the gaming industry have estimated that GTA Online alone generated roughly $6 billion in revenue over its first 12 years, a staggering figure for content built on top of a game that was already over a decade old. Think about what that actually means. Rockstar sold you the movie ticket once, and then found a way to keep charging you for popcorn every single week for over a decade. This is where the psychology gets genuinely interesting, and it connects to something researchers studying behavioral economics have documented extensively. The technical term is the sunk cost fallacy combined with what's known as a variable reward loop, the same mechanism behind slot machines and loot boxes. Once a player has invested real time and real money building a character, a garage full of cars, a criminal empire inside the game, walking away starts to feel like abandoning an actual investment. Psychologist B.F. Skinner's original research on variable reinforcement schedules in the 1950s showed that unpredictable rewards create stronger repeat behavior than predictable ones. Rockstar's in-game economy, with randomized heists, limited-time vehicles, and unpredictable payout events, applies that exact principle at a scale Skinner's pigeons never experienced. None of this happened by accident. Rockstar's co-founder Dan Houser has spoken publicly about the studio's obsessive, almost excessive attention to detail, famously taking years longer than competitors to ship titles because the team refused to release something that wasn't fully realized. That obsession is expensive. It's also exactly why players trust the brand enough to keep spending money inside these worlds year after year. By 2025, Take-Two Interactive's market valuation had climbed past $40 billion, built substantially on the continued performance of a single game released over a decade earlier. That's not normal in entertainment. Most hit products fade within a few years. GTA 5 simply refused to. Now here's where the story turns toward what's coming. Grand Theft Auto 6 is currently scheduled to release on November 19, 2026. after 2 delays that pushed the date later than originally planned. Despite not having released a single unit yet, the game has already generated over 6 million searches in the past year alone, an anticipation level analysts have described as unmatched by any entertainment property in recent memory, gaming or otherwise. The pressure on this launch is enormous, and not just creatively. Development costs for GTA 6 are estimated to be several times higher than GTA 5's original $265 million budget, making it likely the most expensive entertainment production ever financed in history. Take-Two's own financial guidance to investors has repeatedly referenced GTA 6 as the central driver of the company's future earnings, which means Wall Street is essentially pricing the stock around the assumption that this single game will outperform its predecessor. If GTA 6 matches even half of GTA Online's long-term revenue performance, while also breaking GTA 5's opening record, you're looking at a single entertainment release potentially generating more money in its first month than most countries' film industries generate in a decade. So step back for a second and think about what you just learned. You checked your bank balance a few minutes ago. In roughly the same amount of time, a studio built an economic engine so precise that a single product, an interactive world made of pixels and code, has quietly outperformed nearly every film franchise, every music catalog, and every traditional entertainment business model in existence. The real lesson here isn't really about video games at all. It's about what happens when a company stops selling you a single product and starts selling you an ongoing relationship with a virtual world you feel invested in. That's the model quietly reshaping app subscriptions, streaming platforms, and half the digital economy you interact with every single day. You open your banking app again right now. Same 3 seconds. Except this time, you understand exactly what's happening on the other side of every purchase you make inside a game, an app, or a subscription that never seems to let you fully walk away.